Back to Trash Band Off-Road. Today we're going to do another body swap, but it's going to be a short video because we've done this 3 times already. So you guys may recognize the tin top we're pulling that engine out of. That's the one I had at one time, then I traded it away, then I got it back, then I gave it to Austin and we put it on this chassis a year or 2 ago to replace his green buggy build, so that he had all the stuff he needed to have windows and stuff. But then Austin had some life changes, so he sold it to Paul, and now we are taking Paul's blue one and putting it onto this chassis with the Toyota axles and everything. The reason we're pulling the motors is because Paul's is an 8 valve, so we're putting the 8 valve into here, and it's easier to lift the body if you don't got to go over the top of a motor. Push! Once you get it going, it goes fine. It's because it's all welded in the rear and front. And oh man! Okay. That'll work for now. All right, one engine out. Now we can pull the body off, not have to lift so high. Alright, Austin showed up. We're gonna move his Jeep out of the way because we got to move that engine because the fuel inside of it stinks so bad. But here's the deal: if you don't know why we're doing this swap, once again, because we got a hold of a car that has the Toyota axles and everything already under it, and so rather than reinvent the wheel and cut all that off and then weld it to this one, we'll just swap the bodies really quick. He was gonna run that rig, but you can't switch from an 18 valve to a 16 valve or vice versa. It involves whole new wiring setup and including swapping the dash. It's not an easy swap. That's why everybody goes to the 2-liter instead. Going to an 8 valve to a 16 valve is heck. So this rig has the dash from the 16 valve from the 96 rig put in there, and that's an 89 rig, and it has no heat and it just doesn't do what it needs to do. This is a perfectly good rig. We just had it up last weekend up at in the Ochiko Forest. We were up there wheeling just last weekend with it on the Fall Classic, so we know everything about this rig is great. So the plan is pull this body off, pull that body off. We're going to use the 8 valve engine, and Paul has another transmission over there that we're going to put in there, and then the transfer case in that rig has gears in it. I think it's 2 4-to-1 or something like that. I don't remember. So we're going to use that transfer case. So we got to pull all these apart, and it's a good day for that because the weather's nice, and we hopefully by the end of the day we will have these swapped and running, but we'll see. Getting closer to getting this engine out. Got that one over there, and we pushed it far away because it's got bad fuel in it. It stinks, but we managed to take off like starter, alternator, flywheel, stuff we could still use. But that engine probably will end up at the dump. It's smokes like crazy. It's not any good. Maybe it's rebuildable. I don't know. So the black one is pretty much ready to come out of there. A couple of minor things still. They're very close. And this one here, we still have to unhook the transmission transfer case, or unhook the transmission. And Paul's doing the starters, or the, geez Louise. Paul is doing the power steering stuff. And then we'll be able to pull that out and hopefully pull that engine out. And then we'll be able to be very close to lifting these things up. We put the back seat clamp back in, and then we have the engine hoist lifting the back up a little bit, and we're going to try to run this piece of pipe through. Well, we did run this piece of pipe through, and in theory we'll be able to lift the pipe in order to get up over the top of those mounts, and like we've done in the past, we'll just use a car to drag the chassis out. And that's our plan as of right now. And this one here is pretty much ready to come apart. That one is very close to be ready to pull that engine out. And then once we get the engine pulled out, then we can finish up. Actually, they've done a good job. It may be close to pull the body off too. and then we'll be ready to do the old swapperoo. We still hooked on something?
The winch is still connected. The line, the cable.
Yeah, that would have sucked.
All right, drive.
Looking good. Put it up there at the front, so those guys can set that end down.
Right there, that's good.
Yeah, Austin, you're right. This body ain't very light.
I'm gonna just get chiropractor.
We're about to drop the nut. Hurry up.
Run, Waller, run.
All right.
All right, let's go.
Enough for government.
It's gonna fall.
Hang on, they're both on the. That slipped it up a little bit real fast. Okay. There you go.
I can wait all the back half off personally.
That side's not touching over there.
At all? Okay.
It's just sitting on the
We've got the transfer case switched over onto the new transmission that Paul wants to use instead. Paul wants to pull that gas tank out and use his gas tank, so we're getting that done. Cleaning some things up a little bit. Check out this interesting rock light. I don't know about that. There isn't one on the other side because the other side had been strengthened up for the power steering box. So we're going to take care of that and hopefully get this thing done here before it gets too much colder.
Boom.
So since the engine's out, we're going to do a quick oil change. We've got to take the motor mounts off. Yes, we did pull it with the torque converter attached. That's how we roll.
Customer states.
So we got that.
Since you changed my oil.
That thing sitting on some sawhorses. Getting ready to put this back together. They went to get a filter kit. So kind of in a holding pattern for now. Hopefully we can get that black one onto that chassis and that one onto that chassis before dark. Look at that fancy blue right there, all purdy. Okay, for real, so we gotta put a bolt in that. We got that all out. You might as well just not even bother to take this exhaust across the street to the other frame.
You know why that happened?
Tough trucks.
A couple years ago.
Yeah, we'll have to do a new exhaust system for you. All right, we'll take that gas tank, put it into that one, and then I think we're ready to just push them around. We gotta get this thing a chassis under it very soon because it's kind of sketched the way it's sitting right now. Nobody's a huge fan of it. So. We are quickly losing daylight, and we still have both the bodies up in the air. This one here is just about ready to be pushed under, and same as this one here. So hopefully we can get these chassis pushed under these bodies before it gets dark and everybody heads home. And we got the tin top body on. I think all the holes might even be lined up. We took the body lift out. Tomorrow or the next day we'll take the spacer lift out, do a couple other things. They look so good on 31s. It's dark now, but we did get it. That one back on that frame, and this one is now on this frame. We still have a lot of work to do to get these things going. Probably not gonna put that one back together because the engine's bad. So we're probably gonna take a couple of things off that, and then that tin top's gonna go to scrap. That engine there still got to go in there, but it looks way good, except it's on 31s. The 38s are over here. That's all till tomorrow. Afternoon, team. We're back at it. We're gonna put that engine in today and hopefully start that one up now that we have it all bolted down to the frame. A little hard to see last night because it got dark on us because In the Northwest here, it gets dark at like 4 p.m. Stupid. But we have the Sidekick onto the, well, it was originally a Sidekick frame actually, with the Toyota axles and everything ready to go. And then we have the tin top Geo Tracker over here on the Sidekick frame that was underneath that Sidekick. It is not bolted down because we don't have any of that kind of hardware, so I'll just get some washers or something and bolt them down. But this thing's probably going to end up at the scrapyard anyway. We're going to try to see if anybody wants any parts off of it, and then we'll get rid of it. Right now we're working on getting the, what is that thing? Flex plate, no, torque converter. Putting the torque converter in, and then we'll stab this engine in, hook all the wiring back up, Paul start it up and drive it up and down the road.
Well,
that's the way it goes.
yeah.
Thanks for coming over. Hopefully tomorrow we'll get it buttoned up.
I'll get here early.
So we it got dark on us. It's only like 5 o'clock. It got dark on us. We put the engine in. We think we probably didn't get the torque converter seated all the way because it did not line up right. So now we're going to pull it back out so that someone can get in there and mess with the torque converter, but not tonight. We're just going to push the rig back a little bit, push the engine back a little bit. Paul's going to be able to park his trailer here again, and we're going to call it a night. Just called on account of darkness. Man. The little things are always what take the most, but we really got to get this thing running so Paul can get it home and out of my yard. Morning. Welcome to day 3 of this swap. This shouldn't have taken this long. Short days, unfortunately. Yesterday Paul didn't get here till like 1:30, so I only got to spend like 4 hours on it. We did get the body fastened down. We got the lines hooked up, lines to the gas tank, all that stuff, brake lines, all that stuff got hooked up. Chilly this morning. But unfortunately it looked like we did not get that torque converter in all the way, and so we could not get the engine to seat. So we pulled it out and it just got dark on us. So unfortunately Paul says he's not going to be here till afternoon again today, so hopefully we'll try to get it on there. If not, we're just going to put it on his trailer and he'll take it home. Paul got here, he got started a little after 1. I don't know, it's close to 4 now. We've been cruising. Got the engine in, got the transmission hooked up, got everything in. Paul's been working on the stuff underneath. I took care of all the stuff up above. As you go about this, so you do figure out when you have a lot of guys helping, you have a lot of guys putting stuff places. I've had to go through and change the fuel lines, and right now currently I am missing the throttle body bracket, the bracket for the throttle cable. Should go right there where those 2 screws are, but for some reason somebody took it off, and I don't know where they put it or why they would remove it, but now we got to find it. So we're getting closer to trying to fire this thing up. Might turn the key before dark, well, probably after dark. Paul has to change out the brackets for the radiator, and like I said, we're close. So now I'm on the hunt. Where does this thing go? Oh, this one goes a water sensor temp right there. That goes right there. So I'll hook that up, and I'm gonna keep looking around, try to find that bracket. Once again, it's dark because it's dark here in the Pacific Northwest so damn early. But actually it's not too early. It's like 6:30. But we did stop about an hour and a half ago. We drug, I know that you can't tell, but we drug that one over to the far spot. We moved Austin's Jeep over to that spot. The Samurai's back there. I need to be able to get in here and park my rigs and get my camper out. We failed, guys. It's on, it's ready. If it was a 5-speed, we'd have turned the key on it. But being an automatic, the torque converter bolts took forever. And then you got to put the radiator back in before you can try to turn the key. Otherwise, you just dump transmission fluid everywhere when the pump kicks in. So we'll keep you updated on the Instagram. So follow along, Trash Panda Off-Road, and we'll let you know when Paul's able to come back out and get working on this thing. He took the tin top home with him and some parts, and He's got a lot of that thing sold off already, but if you're still interested in some parts off of it, let me know and I'll see if he still's got it. Also, consider subscribing to the channel. There's like 300 and something videos all about geo trackers and other small Suzuki 4x4s. And also, thanks for everybody that came over and helped. Appreciate all your guys' help, everything you guys do, and it's good to have friends like that. Now we can hopefully go wheeling soon.